And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. It's Gerald Glassford doing triple duty today because I just finished the 3-minute report for Lakers Report. That's just going to go up here in a few minutes. I'm sending that over to John. It's Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this thing. And then I got to go ahead and record an episode of Lakers Latest, my new channel that I'm a part of with the Fan Arc Network. I am now going to be part of that with Lakers Latest, plus, of course, the channel I started right here at the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford once again, truly appreciated from the Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's episode of the Pop Culture Cosmos, it's your pop culture questions answered by TJ Johnson and I about Star Wars, Marvel, GTA, and more. Go ahead and check it out right now, wherever you get your podcasts. Available to you on a video format if you're a member on YouTube of the Lakers Fast Break, and also as well Pop Culture Cosmos. But you can also go ahead and catch it as an audio version as well on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And for this weekend, John Orlando and Gerald Glassford, that's me, they come right back. We come right back with a State of Pro Wrestling where we go ahead and preview the Royal Rumble and more. We talk about the world of pro wrestling coming up here on the latest edition of the Pop Culture Cosmos. That'll be coming up this weekend as well. So go ahead and make sure you cover that with us. Plus, again, I did mention that I do have another channel that I'm a part of with the Fan Arc Network. It is called Lakers Latest. So if you want your 15 to 20-minute fix tomorrow morning, go ahead and check it out when it drops on YouTube on Lakers Latest, right there for you. Don't forget as well, my man Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Go ahead and cover him. Remember the great pillow that he made that I just absolutely just cannot help but love it, but as well as the canvas art behind me of LeBron James in better times and Luka Doncic in better times when they don't get smoked by 30. Go ahead and support Drip Show Shop today at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Yo, the Lakerholics, Lakerholics.com. Joe Soro, the Joe Soro Experiment. And, of course, my good friend, John Costa, who I just did the 3-minute report. I'm going to send this to him here in just a minute, and hopefully he will be able to get that ASAP to put that up there as well. So go ahead and support all these great Laker channels, but I would be remiss. I talk about Lakers Latest. I talk about Joe Soro Experiment. I talk about Lakers Corner. All these great places I want you to support and like and love and subscribe to. I would be remiss if I didn't include the Lakers Fast Break. Please, humbly ask if you could like and subscribe there as well. JSJ says it's Joe's fault. It's Joe's fault for today. I don't know about that. You know what? I blame him for a lot of things, JSJ, but not today. You know, LeBron came back home to Cleveland today as the Lakers continued on the Grammy trip in Cleveland, Ohio. And, well, I got all misty-eyed when they played him a video of his career in the first half. Must have affected him greatly because he absolutely stunk up the joint in Cleveland. 11 points, 6 turnovers. Luka Doncic tweaking his foot. Now, it's interesting because Cleveland has had this elevated floor deal for quite some time and has had other players hurt themselves on this elevated floor, yet nobody seems to want to do anything about it. So, lo and behold, first half, Luka Doncic tweaks his foot right there on the edge as he's backing up from a three-pointer, right there on the edge of it, right before he get to the Lakers bench. And that was really quite concerning, but he did come back. He did score 29, but after a back and forth first half, where the Lakers were only finding themselves down by 2, they absolutely decided to give up. And there's just nowhere better way to say it. They just absolutely stunk up the joint. Cleveland went on a run early in that first half. Kind of sensed that as well as I was watching the game while I was mobile. I was just sensing that, you know what? In the second half, the Lakers always give up some kind of run to start up the third quarter, sure enough, but they usually come back, right? They usually will come back and make it a contest, usually win the game. That's why they have the differential that they do. Well, they didn't. They decided to roll over. They rolled over hard as they ran up the score, and, well, you saw the score as it came out, 129-99. The Lakers lose by 30. They're now 28-18 on the season. fifth place in the Western Conference. Absolutely a miserable effort in that second half. I'm sure JJ's stomach is churning quite a bit after this lack of presentation. Um, as far as it's absolutely just a travesty that it could happen. So I know that JJ Redick after the game is talking about the safety hazard of the Rocket Arena that's elevated about 10 inches off of ground level. Like I was talking about, yeah, if they don't do something about that soon, they're going to get a major injury. They lucked out, and the Lakers lucked out, and we all lucked out today. Hopefully, there's no lingering issues with Luka as the team heads on to Washington here on Friday. So we'll see what happens there. But again, great to have you here. Of course, JSJ. No, you're not. You're not. You go ahead. Blame Joe. Blame Joe if you want. That's okay for you. But I don't think it was his fault today. JSJ said, should I watch the Rumble? Well, Triple H is guaranteeing some surprises. I don't know if these surprises are going to go yay or yay. More likely, yay. So I'll leave that up to you, my friend. Hopefully, you'll get it free off the ESPN app, off of the YouTube TV or wherever you can get it. They've never made that clear who gets it free and who doesn't. So don't pay for it extra. That's what I wouldn't do. But that Saturday night's main event was their best Saturday night's main event ever. And I'll just see that in there. But again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us, Danny. You're in the mix. Truly appreciate you being back here. He says, we didn't come to play. We didn't come to play. We didn't show up. They didn't care. They thought to themselves that this is a boring game. Our Lakers tonight look like a peewee team. Yeah, they just didn't come to play in that second half. They decided not to show up. They started out the game on a good note because they pushed the pace, long outlet passes for some easy baskets right away, which set the tempo in that first quarter for the Lakers, but didn't follow up on it and didn't make too much of it as the Lakers only fell down. They had a 10-point lead at one time and just it kind of whittled away until the Cleveland Cavaliers finally pulled themselves ahead in the second quarter and right close to the half. They pulled ahead by 2. But you could just sense that momentum shift with the Cleveland Cavaliers as they closed out the half. And they just started out like gangbusters. Tyson was doing some great work. He's been a great find for them. Of course, Donovan Mitchell had an okay game for him, but everybody else, as far as the support, that's where that really was killer for the Lakers, was that the rest of the team, rest of the Cleveland Cavaliers gave good support offensively for the Cleveland Cavaliers outside of just, again, Spider Mitchell having a okay game. Nothing great for him, but Tyson, Allen, those guys, they really had it, especially in support of the fact that Evan Mobley was out and is going to be out for a little bit with his calf strain. So just a disappointing effort in that second half as the Lakers lose by 30, 129-99. Black, what's going on, my friend? John sends his love as always. I do have his back, but Black, I always respect your opinion as well, as long as you guys aren't at each other's throat. But yes, it's absolutely a terrible second half. Black says Lakers need to find a way to get rid of LeBron and get Giannis. Good luck on that. You have 8 days, Black. You have 8 days to let the Lakers know how they're going to get rid of LeBron off of a no trade clause in his contract and get Giannis Antetokounmpo instead without a multitude of first-round draft picks. So good luck is what I say. Black, you and I both know that that's not going to be a possibility. But, all these sites, and including, Lakers latest, they want some rumors on fan art. They want some stuff like that. So I might put out some little teasers there as far as for them, because I know that they're a small network, want to really grow up as far as the network as a whole is concerned. So I might give them some little tidbits on that as far as the rumors. But of course, the big rumor that seems to be out there is Anthony Irwin. Don't ask him to do an ad read, but he said on Twitter that he has gotten confirmation that Dalton Knecht has asked for a trade to the Lakers. So take that from what you will on that one. But again, the Lakers do lose 129 to 99. Defense says Bronny was amazing, Gerald. You didn't enjoy the game. Bronny was it's garbage time. Sorry, garbage time it is. Bronny is not an NBA player. and he was given every bit to do whatever he wanted. He's a nice G League player, is what he is. And yeah, he cannot play in serious NBA contention time. And we saw it today. Again, yes, he had a nice little run and a nice little stretch there in front of the home crowd. That was great. That was put a tear, I'm sure, in some people's eyes, but he is not an NBA player. Have him guard Tyrese Maxey in the middle of a second quarter again and see what happened, like what happened last year, and see what happens when he gets roasted. No, he is a G League player, and he is someone that, again, if LeBron goes, I'm sure the Lakers should, in every way possible, try to find a way to get him off the team because he is not an NBA player in my estimation this time. I'm hoping wrong. I don't want to be mean, so I'm hoping wrong. I'm wrong, but he has not done anything in regular NBA minutes, not garbage time, but regular NBA minutes to go ahead and be able to do just that. So yeah, as far as being a player there. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to go ahead and onboard that Bronny train. But if you want to, you're good to go on that, my friend. So truly appreciate you doing. No, if you do, I know he will. But yeah, you go get that Bronny jersey. But unfortunately, I am not going to do that myself. So, and I'll just leave it at that. But once again, it is the Lakers fast break, 129-99. Again, you guys, trolls, no effect, zero effect on trolling. Guys are only trolling yourself. It's like boom, 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 right back at you when you guys troll on that. So, boom, as far as that's concerned. So, ain't working here on that. So, you guys want to go ahead on the Bronny trade? You're more than welcome on that. So, yes, indeed. So, again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers lose by 30. I've sent over the file to John Costa, my good friend. So, hopefully, you guys can check out the Lakers Corner 3-minute report I have for him on that. So, yes, it is uploaded right now. There you go, my friend. All right. All right. There you go. Mission 24 says Erwin lives here in Austin, Texas, pretending to be Lakers. Yeah, I know he moved. Mission 24, I cannot blame someone for moving to a place where it's more affordable because Southern California. I come from Southern California. I would be a hypocrite if I said I would have loved to have stayed in Southern California M24. But and even when I was working in the movie industry, just seeing the skyrocketing prices of the 90s at that point in time, to give you a context, and what it was out here in Vegas was substantially cheaper. My gosh, if you guys would have seen the prices back in the day in the mid 90s of what homes were at, of what food prices were at, you'd be like, man, those were some sweet days. And I don't want to go into back in my day, that type of deal, but there was a great differential in cost of living, which is the reason why I moved out here. And I'm sure that's the reason why he moved there. So I'm not going to be too hard on them on that. And I understand he claims himself to be an insider, but I got to give him credit when he does get something that, if it is true and Dalton Knecht asked for a trade, it's not too much of a no-brainer because he's not playing at all. He's not in the rotation. He did play in garbage time, but he's not in the rotation now. He's not proven to be effective this season, and he has a contract, guys, that if I've said this before, every Halloween for the next 2 Halloweens, the team that he's on can decide whether or not to just drop him or just pay him for another year. So he has that to figure out as far as that's concerned. So yeah, absolutely. Um, Appreciate it, defense. Read your what? Look at the Cavs, young talent, Tyson, other guys. Why don't we have young talent? Defense? That's a good question. You know what? I will get you on the Bronny one. Actually, I'm going to loop in the Bronny with your question. That is a great question. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put it right here. Now that I'm thinking more about it, it's right here. Because I was I was sending John his file for his thing as far as his 3-minute report. So just wanted to let you know that. On that comment you put there, I think that's a really good comment. The reason why is because he says defense wins championships. Nico Harrison right there. Look at the Cavs' young talent. Tyson and those other guys, Craig Porter, and look at ours, Gerald. Why don't we have young talent? Well, I know you're probably kidding about Bronny with his 2 minutes of glory right there, but It's two words: Rob Pelinka. And talent evaluation is not his strong suit. Again, why is Jay Huff one of the league leaders in block shots for another team? Why is Scottie Pippen Jr.? I was wrong on Scottie Pippen Jr. I will tell myself, because he looked sloppy, turnover prone, looked like too small, couldn't shoot. He reinvented himself in Memphis. Give that kid all the credit in the world. So maybe there was something there that Rob Pelinka could have latched onto, as far as that's concerned as well. I mean, prioritizing THT over Alex Caruso, prioritizing, and Ivica Zubac's name, JSJ. I don't even bring up Ivica Zubac's name, yet people are emailing me or sending me messages at 3 or 4 in the night from Germany. Shout out to Pinty about Ivica Zubac on this, and I have to go into an Ivica Zubac rant on that as far as it's concerned. So just that alone, talent evaluation is not a strong suit of Rob Pelinka. And that's really in order to be a great GM, that has to be part of the package. And I went over this with Stefan Piscano on his podcast here, hopefully that you guys will be able to see, and I'll be able to drop here as far as what the link is when it goes live. Is one of the things I mentioned is, because he's a big fan of Rob Pelinka. I am not a big fan of Rob Pelinka. And right there, defense wins championships. It is because the talent evaluation by Rob Pelinka is below average. He has been supported with some trades or some acquisitions, i.e., LeBron with Magic and him, AD, the trade there, and Luka here, that has kept him afloat as far as the superstar value. But it's building out the rest of the roster that has been very problematic for him. And that's the reason why we have not been able to sustain ourselves a level of greatness that we had in 2020. And it's just that simple. You build championships around quality players, and he just doesn't have the talent evaluation skills to sustain that over a long period of time. And that's you see that tonight. You wanted to know about the young talent that Cleveland has. Now, they haven't had the best of seasons, because Evan Mobley hasn't had the best of seasons. They were asking him to take a step up, and he hasn't been able to do it. Now he's hurt. But yeah, I would have to tell you that it just starts with talent evaluation, and it's just not there with Rob Pelinka. And I don't know if it'll ever be there, but he's our GM now. He's a president of basketball operations now. And so Jeannie loves him. With all that, the relationship to Kobe, we all know that. We won't go down that road again. But again, it's just that simple. We have to go ahead and hope that Rob finds the ability, or finds someone that's able to, in the scouting department, the revamped scouting department, that will advise him better on who to choose going forward. JY says being a great GM depends on if ownership loves you, and Rob has Genie wrapped around his finger. Yeah. JY, did you not read the ESPN article? We talked about it. How much did he get, an $8 or $24 million bonus? Doesn't matter. He got a multi-million-dollar bonus just because he was in the position. The Ramby, the CFO, and Rob all got big, and either an $8 or $24 million bonus. Yes, it's Kobe related. If you read that ESPN article, when the team was sold to Mark Walters. So that tells you right there how much he is loved by Jeannie. And a lot of it is based off that relationship he had with Kobe. And you just got to take a look, JY, at that situation with Magic Johnson, where I don't know if Jeannie was pitting them both or what have you, stabbing each other behind the back and all that. But, when it came to siding with one or the other, she sided with Rob, and Magic was out. Now, Magic wasn't, the greatest president, GM in the world. Ivica Zubac. I mean, he was the leader in that trade. Rob was in the room. They both could have said no, and they didn't. So I'll leave that to you as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Rob's evaluation of talent, JHS, and now Dalton Knecht, this has been a bust as well. It's not looking good right now for him at this point. But again, he is loved by the right people, and that's all that matters. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Great to have you here. I'm so sorry again that the Lakers did lose 129-99, but we're going to keep it light and cheery. The Lakers are still 10 games above 500. They're still in fifth place in the Western Conference. They do have what we hope will be an easy game coming up here with Washington, with the Wizards, with a team that's trying very hard to tank. So we hopefully will get the bump up before we head over to New York Knicks and MSG on that. So JSJ, hey Joe, what was Joe's stream last night? I think it was just testing something. I didn't actually look in on the channel. I was just looking at it on my algorithm, JSJ, and it's just some type of test he was doing. I have to ask him. I haven't called him or talked to him. I just sent him the link for tonight, like I always do. So I don't know if he's going to hop on because of his, these early games, guys. These early games are just a beast for John, myself, and Joe because as you know, we can't. We're not paid well enough to do this full time, so we have other commitments, and in doing so, it's just these games are rough for us as far as the early games are concerned. So we do apologize for the delay. That's why I'm going triple duty tonight. I had to make sure I got John covered on Lakers Corner. Had to make sure that I got you guys covered here, Lakers Fast Break, and I'll be recording Lakers latest later on here this evening as well. JY said this game is on LeBron period. No, I don't. JY, I do think a lot of it's on LeBron, but I don't want to put it all on LeBron. This was a total team. That second half, I mean, because they were only 2 points down. And that second half was abysmal. That third quarter, like you said, the lack of energy from the entire team, not just him, but it was the entire team. From what I was watching, it was just a lack of effort from the entire team was just abysmal. And you can't single out. Vando started out hot, and then he just started to fizzle out. Errors in his shots, mistakes out there on the floor. Gabe Vincent, yes, he started out hot, and then he just couldn't keep it going himself either. DeAndre Ayton started out really hot, as far as it's concerned, 4-4 for the night, but he fizzled out because he gave you nothing in that second half, or next to nothing. Jake LaRavia himself, he was hustling in that first quarter, getting as far as leaking out and being available for outlet passes, as you saw, guys, Jake LaRavia. And where did he go for the rest of the game? So I don't want to put this totally on LeBron, but you know what? LeBron was obviously moved by what they did. Maybe it's a tactic by Cleveland. Let's play the misty emotional video for you. Thank you for everything you've done. Yes, it's so great. Ooh-hoo, hoo-hoo. He got all misty-eyed, whatnot, and he proceeded to suck the rest of the game. But he is one player, and it's not all on him. Again, Luka didn't have his finest hour either. I don't know if that foot is hurt for Luka. I certainly hope not. But if it is, I think that they should, file some type of legal action against the Cleveland Cavaliers team for doing that, for having that elevated floor. The league has had years to fix that, elevated floor. They mentioned another player that got hurt off that edge of that floor, and they just don't get it. And now that Luka almost hurt himself, or may have hurt himself, it is of great concern now to the league. Watch the league now do something about it. Now that JJ mentioned it in his post-game comments, now they'll do something about it. But why is it we always react? I mean, it's obvious right there. It's 10 feet raised off the floor, for goodness sakes. That's terrible, absolutely terrible for them to do that. And I just cannot believe that they still have it there. I know that there's you guys can mention in the comments. I know, is it Louisville or which college does something similar as far as that's concerned? Let me know in the comments who that is as far as the college that does it. But there is a college that does the same thing for their arena where it's raised, and you're just risking a player's health by doing that on that. So Force goes, don't give me that, Bronny. It was garbage time. Garbage time. He was not on fire. He had a sequence of 3 plays, and there you go. That's it. He scored 8 points. 8 points. He's not on fire. 8 points. 3 of 3. 8 points. In garbage time, where you're playing against other G Leaguers and you got other guys who just don't care because they're 30 points up. So let's put things in perspective. He would not have scored and not have done that well if he'd been playing against Jalen Tyson or Donovan Mitchell in the second quarter of today's game. So let's put things in perspective right there. So Minnesota also has Laney. I'm raised for. That's a concern, man. No, thank you for pointing out that. By the way, do you guys like that Prince? I really like that Purple Rain Prince floor when they do that, like they did the other day with Golden State. I didn't notice it was raised on that, Laney, so that was my bad for not catching that. But thank you for letting me know on that. But yeah, I really dug the Prince court on that. So I'm not a huge Prince fan, but I'm a good Prince fan. I like Prince Purple Rain and some of his albums. So yeah, I thought that's a great loving tribute to Prince with that court. I've seen it a couple times now this season. I really like that. So Christian, what's going on, my friend? What Laker fan has LeBum as his GOAT? Because the thing that was given to me by Drip Show. As I've already talked about on this show previously, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time for me. But again, that's you take that word for it. But this was given to me by Drip Show at Drip Show Shop to show you and showcase his great work that he can do on canvas art. Whether it's you want to put a GOAT or you want to put MJ, you want to put Luca, you want to put whoever on there, go ahead and reach out to at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. I was again, he recently sent that to me and I hang it up. So yeah, not my GOAT, but he's one of my top players of all time, but not my GOAT. But he certainly didn't play it like tonight. Very emotional for him. 6 turnovers, 11 points. He played like his mind was not there. And it was just very disappointing. But the rest of the team did not pick that up as well. So I'm not putting this all on LeBron because I know your comments, you guys are going to be like, oh, it's all LeBron's fault. You said it's all LeBron. No, it's not all LeBron's fault. But he often sets the tone for the team, even if he's not the top player on the team anymore. He sets the tone sometimes for the team. And that second half, they just laid a dud. But it was I know I saw his effort. I saw his lack of focus in that third quarter, but that could be also attributed to the rest of the team and also JJ Redick. His coaching in that third quarter, it just seemed like he gave up as well. So it is what it is, you guys, and we got their butts kicked. But again, I'm going to put things a little bit on the bright side. Lakers are still 5th place in the Western Conference, 9 games back of the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference. And of course, it was announced earlier today that Giannis Antetokounmpo is now available officially on the market for everybody. So you too can have a chance to get Giannis Antetokounmpo on your team by the trade deadline, which comes in about a little over 7 days away. So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Do the Lakers have an actual chance at getting a Giannis Antetokounmpo in the next 8 days? And if your answer is yes, I want to know why. I want to know what package on that as far as they're concerned. What package would you actually send that the Milwaukee Bucks, John Horst would say, wow, that's a really good deal. I think we have to take it. Because I don't think there's anything out there that the Lakers could offer right now until they accrue those 3 first-round picks is going to be of any interest to Milwaukee. I mean, again, you can make it hopefully where there will be a sign and trade that you can muster, and then maybe you could work out a deal with 3 first-round draft picks, including the draft pick this year for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and a sign and trade once you sign Austin to a 5-year deal, and maybe you could work out something like that. I don't know about for sure 100% the logistics, how that would work out on that, because the timing of when the draft is to when the start of free agency is. But yeah, absolutely. I want to. JY says, can I guarantee a win on Washington on Friday? JY, I'm not going to say a guarantee because, one of the longtime panelists of this show is Admiral Akbar, Jamie Sweet. And too many times in life, he is called a trap. It's a trap. That's why we call him Admiral Akbar, because he calls these trap games. So I don't want to say they will totally punt it in Washington, but when you look at the standings, again, I mentioned the Lakers 28 and 18, fifth place in the Western Conference. Washington is 1-9 in their last 10. So hopefully the trend can keep on going. And they are on a winning streak as of now. They won their one game in their last game. So hopefully that will mean that the Lakers will come in there and roast them coming up here, I believe, on Friday. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But T3 says Giannis is going nowhere. That's a great possibility, is that these teams are not going to give Milwaukee what is desirable enough now, and maybe work out something in the summer. But maybe if you are a buyer and you want to say, you know what, if we let this play itself out, the deals by the other teams could get better and better, and we may lose a chance at Giannis. So you may see a San Antonio team get a little desperate. You may see a team like Detroit or Atlanta get a little desperate. You may see a team with assets, Houston, OKC, thinking, maybe we should act now. Maybe we should overpay now to go ahead and ensure that we've got Giannis Antetokounmpo. We'll see. But I want to hear your thoughts on that. Sports Baby Vari, great to have you here. Long time no see. Sorry I couldn't jump on Discord tonight. I was all over the place 2 hours watching the game from mobile, watching the game from here, back and forth. So yeah, I apologize. I could not jump on Discord with you guys tonight, but I hope to do it on Friday for Washington, my friend. But thank you so much for the love. Truly appreciate it. It is, of course, Gerald Glasser. Thanks so much again for watching us, and truly appreciate you joining us. I don't think Joe or John is going to be here. I know Joe was planning on jumping on, but I don't see him yet. Let me go ahead and see if I can get him, because I know my time here is not infinite this evening. But I know he wanted to do an experiment tonight, was the original plan. As far as it's concerned. So I don't know if that still holds, because I know he was, as you say, JSJ, testing out his channel last night. But again, I reached out to him just now and see if he's coming on. So just wanted to go ahead and make sure you guys are covered right here at the Lakers Fast Break. And then again, mention to you guys, hey, I'm working with the Fan Arc Network. I'm trying to branch out into more opportunities in the Laker fandom as far as it's concerned. And now I'm working with Fan Arc, the Fan Arc Network. Hopefully you guys will like a lot of the teams that they cover, because they're a burgeoning network with some really good teams that they cover. They're trying to get as large as think of it like the Locked On Network, but a new personalities, growing personalities that hopefully you will like and enjoy, including me covering the Lakers at Lakers Latest. So I will be dropping a 15 to 20 minute video each and every day. They're going to drop it in the morning, they said, for you right there on YouTube. So hopefully you guys will be able to enjoy it and see what I have to offer right there at Lakers Latest. So hopefully give me a like and subscribe there. And you give me a like and subscribe here on as far as here's concerned. Yes, Gerald and Joe. Well, yeah, I don't think Joe was talking about. Yeah, Joe and I went at it because Joe got something wrong again. I called him out on it. Then he told me to wrap my shirt around me, and he didn't realize, because he was not very observant, because he gets in those zones where he sees nothing else but himself. And he didn't notice I had on a Kobe and Gigi shirt, the annual Kobe and Gigi shirt, excuse me, that I wear every year to honor the tragedy of what happened with Kobe and Gigi's passing. And he didn't know that. So he's like, just to see his face on one of life's most embarrassing moments for him, very awkward moment for him. Yeah, it was. I don't want to say it was funny because of obviously the subject matter involved, but it was amusing, enlightening, to say the least. But the mission, it is the deal with Fan Arc. I have to get above the 1,000 mark for them, just like I did here. I have to get monetized. And it is a small channel, and I'm trying to grow it into a big channel for them. I have a working agreement with them. So yes, I do not get paid with them until I get it to where it can be a monetized channel going forward. Because when you're a small channel like this one, It's just not enough. You just don't make enough as far as it's concerned. And so you had to got to look out to other ventures. So I'm trying to branch out, and hopefully eventually that everybody that goes on my other works or other channels that I'm on or whatnot will eventually find their way here as well. So again, I want it to be a universal thing where you can see me all over the place covering the Lakers, and then hopefully come back here to Lakers Fast Break and like what you see as well. I'm hoping to grow, and I'm trying to figure out ways to grow M24. We've been trying for years how to get this thing as far as, beyond the great base of fans, the great community that we have. We have a great community here at the Lakers Fast Break, but I want it to grow and I want it to expand. And we always want to grow and expand, but I think what we bring to you guys on a regular basis is as good as, if not better than, Anthony Irwin, for instance. Okay, yeah, he got the great scoop on Dalton Knecht. Pat yourself on the back. Now try to do an ad read, and we'll leave it at that. But his stuff, I can't listen to his stuff. It's just boring. It's just that. And then Trevor Lane, blah, and most of the other stuff out there, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I started this channel. You guys seem to like the back and forth that we do with John Costa, going at Black, going at Ihema, going at Down at B, going at Joe. Yeah, Joe and I going at each other. It just guys seem to love it. Laker Tom and Jamie, and that's what I want to do. I wanted to create a community where you guys would enjoy certain aspects, different perspectives on the Lakers fandom out there, and hopefully you guys are getting it. But we need more. That's honestly, you cannot thrive as a Lakers channel with the audience we have. We're to the point where you need it to be, and I really wanted to get to that point. And we've been doing this now for close to 6.5 years. So 6.5 years, and I really wanted to go ahead into a spot where really someone to contend with in the world of Laker fandom. And I hope you guys continue to enjoy the work that we do. And I'm hoping again for your support each and every day. And if you do, I cannot thank you enough for doing so. So Mission 24, thank you so much for subscribing. Truly appreciate you doing so. Again, I guess, I saw some of the videos that they had on there. I don't want to just, I go off on Lane and Irwin and all that, as far as, because they're big, they have large audiences, and credit to them. Boo-ha. They all have large audiences, and credit to them for getting those large audiences. You cannot deny them for doing so, but I don't know how they would get those audiences, because there's stuff that they have. Maybe it's just because it's accessibility. People see that come up on their algorithm, and that's where they go to first. It's their comfort food. But for me, it just, when I watch it, it's just not entertaining. It's just not what I get as far as information from it is very concerned. So that's how I started this channel, because I wanted something better. I wanted something more, and hopefully you guys like it, and hopefully we're able to grow it from there. And Lakers Latest, they had someone there that just wasn't working out to their expectations, so they brought me in there, and hopefully I'm going to get the job done for them, and hopefully I can forward that to what I'm doing here with Lakers Fast Break for you guys as much as I can as well. So this is not going to take me away from LFB at all, so don't fear that. So I'm always going to be here as much as I can right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Black says MJ23, LJ23, yeah. Gerald, try to collaborate with channels that have five. I have reached out. In fact, that's how I got started with Joe and the Lakerholics and whatnot. I would sending emails. I remember Mark will tell you, I sent to Sliwa when he first bailed from ESPN LA. I was saying, hey, would you want to come on the show? Let's work out. No, didn't give me the time of day. Didn't give the time of day, because my name ain't Boo-ha. My name ain't Irwin. My name ain't Kamenetsky. My name ain't one of those guys. So I guess I'm persona non grata. We're the opinionated guys. We're the guys that, that just tell it like it is. And sometimes it rubs people the wrong way, but you know what? It's okay. We're going to grow. We're going to get there. And I cannot thank you enough for your support, and we will break through. It's going to take a matter of time, but we'll get there. We'll get there for you guys. But JSJ says, hey, Gerald, should I watch the Rumble? There's been no buildup at all. Again, JSJ, I want to quote Triple H. Don't love quoting Triple H, but I want to quote Triple H, and he said there's going to be a lot of surprises in store at the Rumble. I don't know if those surprises are going to make you go, yay, or they're making you go, eh. So again, my leaning is that these surprises are going to make you go, meh. But again, they're coming off the best Saturday night's main event that they've ever had. And you could quote me on that. That is probably the best quality uh, wrestling Saturday night's main event that they've ever had, as far as quality wrestling from the beginning to the end. And if they can take that momentum and ride it into the Royal Rumble, maybe it'll be something worth watching. I'm going to try and catch it. I'll tell you that. I'm also trying to catch the full episodes of Wonder Man as well. So for the Pop Culture Cosmos. So my plate is full. My plate is full, and I'm trying best to do what I can to keep my schedule busy and still be a family man and do my other commitments as well. So yeah, absolutely indeed. But JSJ says there will be no surprises since Triple H said that. Yeah. Again, if you take that Unreal series as seriously and think that's actually legit, more power to you. I don't treat it as 100% legit. I think they're working, as they say in the business, they're working the work of the work on Netflix, and I'll just leave it at that. But once again, it is the Lakers fast break. The Lakers lose by 30, 129-99. I'm great to have you here. Grateful to have you here. Joe has not responded. Maybe he's sleeping. Probably still working, because I know that, again, in that traffic, it's tough to get home sometimes on time. So I'm not going to give him any slack on that. No, unlike normal, I will not give him any slack on that. These early games are just a killer on the schedule for John, for myself, and for Joe as well. JSJ says, I don't believe anything Triple H says anymore. I just, glass half full. Remember Tom's old thing to me? He used to say all the time to me, you're a glass half full, Gerald. I'll take that with a glass half full as far as for Triple H is concerned. I will just leave it at that. But Hammer says there are many passionate Lakers fans, but with lesser viewer, you will have a growth moment. I hope so. I hope so. We always seem to get a bump up when we do our trade deadline special next week. We do that every year. We also get a bump up during the playoffs. We also get a bump up during the free agency, the first day of free agency. So hopefully we can build that momentum going on, because I see other channels getting 10,000, 20,000 subscribers, and those are great. But how many of those subscribers actually stay and watch what you're doing? That's the most important thing. It's great to have 100,000 subscribers, but if only 1,000 watch on a regular basis, that's not good. That's not good. Ken, what's going on? How you doing? Great to have you here. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate it. It is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching this thing. I'm the host of the Lakers Fast Break, along with Lakers Latest, my newest channel that I'm a part of with the Fan Arc Network. Hopefully you'll go ahead there and here, like and subscribe. It is the Lakers, unfortunately, losing 129-99. Thank you, Ken Kim. Very kind of you to say. Truly appreciate it. He says, I'm already subscribed, and you and Joe are the best. Absolutely. I will see. Once I get going in the swing of things, they're only 15 to 20 minutes long, those shows. They only want them that long. On Lakers Latest, I know a lot of people are asking. This is the original plan I had for Lakers Fast Break before I started bringing on guests and whatnot, was to go only 15, 20 minutes. Get it? Lakers Fast Break. It was supposed to be just a fast. Yeah. That went out a long time ago when I started interviewing Laker Tom, and then, of course, Joe, and then everybody else came into the mix and all that over the years. But this will stay 15 to 20 minutes. That's what Fan Arc is asking. And but that doesn't preclude maybe sometime Joe and I or another guest coming on for me to go ahead and bring to you some stuff on that. Just a little quick hits for you on that. But yeah, go ahead and give it a shout out. But for now, the Lakers, again, lose. But I want to go ahead and make sure we cover a full hour for you at least. And I want to go ahead and ask, okay, the trade deadline is coming up. And I get inundated with a lot of mock trades. Some of them are really good. Some of them not so good. But that doesn't mean I don't want to see them. That doesn't mean I won't react to them. So I definitely want to, if you got some in the comments, if you got some that you leave below, if you got someone that you want to email me, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. Absolutely. And speaking of LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com, Rogelio sent me there he goes. Sent me a question the other day, and I forgot to read it. And I'm sorry, Rogelio. All apologies to you, my friend. But I told you I would get you back next time I come on the air on the LFB. He said, "Hey guys, you're doing a great job tonight." This is the other night. As far as a trade, at what price should the Lakers pay to get better? I don't think they have as much to give. As for trading for as much to give, yeah, they just don't have a myriad of assets. That's very true. As for trading for Nurkic, I would not trust Danny Ainge as far as I could throw him. Well, I think Danny Ainge is still a little bit ticked that he was suckered into that trade with Luka because he didn't initially know, according to reports, he didn't initially know that the Lakers were trading for Luka. He was just asked to be involved in a 3-team trade if he could be a dump off waypoint for some of these assets. And he said, "Sure, I'll take some of your dumps." JHS was the dump. If you could go ahead and give me what was an additional second round pick, I think, or whatnot. So yeah, I think he got burned by that when he found out that Luka was part of the deal on that. But be that as it may, I don't trust Danny Ainge either. But again, he is going to be a valuable tool in this upcoming uh, trade deadline, guys, because he is a way station because they're under the first tax apron and they're under the second tax apron. So they have room to play with as far as assets are concerned. Plus, they have Nurkic, who did until he mysteriously got an ailment that had him out in the last game. Huh, fancy that. But he did have 3 straight triple doubles. So he is now suddenly a hot commodity once again. There you go. Would like to see you and Tyler as it stands. Lakers channel. I send him your. Hey, Mission. You know what? Bring him on. Absolutely. I'd love to have him on the show. Whether it's recorded or live, I'd love to have him on. You guys know I do recorded shows with the NBA observations all the time on the show. My last one with Caleb Ponce. I'm trying to plan out a couple more before the trade deadline. So yeah, absolutely would love to have him on the show or vice versa. I'm willing to go on other people's show and hopefully get them some increased audience as well. Isaac says, "Why is Aiden so soft?" Welcome to the DeAndre Ayton experience. Again, Isaac, he looks so good in that first half, and it just went off the deep end in that second half. He just, again, losing focus is really easy for him to do. And that's why I would not commit a long-term contract to him. You're seeing what he is. He's 13-8. That's who he is. That's at this point in his career. That's who he is going forward. I mean, he wants the ball 20 to 30 times a game. He wants his touches. I get that. They all do. But he doesn't, he'll just moan and groan to the reporters out there, but he won't take the extra steps needed to get it. When he was involved and engaged in that first quarter, blocking shots underneath, as far as getting offensive rebounds, working inside underneath, really great to see the activity that he had, but it just fell off. It's like the rest of the Lakers. That activity level just fell off like a brick. And again, I'm not pointing at just him. It was a total team poop show in that second half. LeBron, I don't know what planet he was on. He was all misty-eyed from that video, but he certainly didn't have it all game with 11 points and 6 turnovers, and definitely just absolutely terrible performance from him. But to a human extent, maybe you could slide a little bit for the fact that this was a homecoming for him and understand his emotion on that. But to the point where it went, no, you can't go that far. But I can understand it if it affected his performance in a little bit of fashion. But it wasn't DeAndre Ayton's homecoming. It wasn't Jake LaRavia's homecoming. Was it Marcus Smart's home? Marcus Smart only had 2 points. Wasn't his homecoming. Wasn't Jared Vanderbilt's homecoming. Wasn't Luka Doncic's homecoming. Although, I'm concerned about his foot. He's still, in that second half, decided to roll over as well. Again, the whole team, JJ Redick and the whole team rolled over in that second half. They took what was a very competitive game and threw it out the window. And I was just very, very sad. Christian said 6 turnovers under his average 8. Well, yeah, he does lead. He did hit the 60,000 mark He is the first player to ever reach in the NBA 60,000 minutes, but that's not as many turnovers he has. He does not have 60,000 turnovers, even though it seems like it, but he does lead the all-time in several categories. One of them is turnovers. So I get your point there, Christian. I get your point indeed. But yes, Sean Davis. Yeah, again, would like to get Sean Davis. Absolutely. I've heard of him. Yeah, he's on the Lakers Nation. Sean Davis, indeed. Kobe. Was it Kobe? The Kobe Price. That's the kid. I have him on Twitter. He was the protege of Trevor Lane for a while, but now he's doing his own thing. I believe with the Southern California News Group, or I think he just changed to another California outlet. But anyways, he's a rising young star. So maybe I can reach out to him and have him stop on by as well. Lakers Lounge can be collabed with two. I mean, Lakers Lounge, it is what it is, but that's the one I think that, again, with those guys right there, said some pretty harsh things about those guys on Lakers Lounge. But you know what? I'm willing to reach out and get anyone on the show of any of that Lakers entourage, the Lakers pyramid, the Lakers circle of insiders and reporters, the Lakers, just Lakers reporters. I brought on Lakers reporters before, guys who covered for Bleacher Report, guys who covered for Fanatics, guys who covered for various outlets. So yeah, I have no problems with bringing in anyone on here on the show. They're welcome to come on as far as they're concerned and give you guys a 411 on the Lakers. And I may just do that in the coming days and months. We'll see what happens. I've done it before. That's what I've done. I've done a couple of times before where I've reached out to several people within the industry. And again, I may just do that to see if you guys would like to see what we're doing here at the Lakers Fast Break. Stefan says, I was editing our episode, Gerald, and you cooked that Anthony went pretty bad. I will give him credit, Stefan. He did get the scoop on supposedly that Dalton Knecht has asked to be traded, but ask him to do an ad read. Ask him to do an ad read. But even you got to give him credit. He has built an audience. If you like his work, if you appreciate his work, more power to you. I don't. Anthony Irwin, I think that when he blew an ad read, I think that was the exact moment I said, I could do this better. I could do this better than he can. And that's when I think I got the light. I was already doing the Pop Culture Cosmos and other shows, and I was covering the NBA draft from time to time on that show. And I think that's when it really hit me. Start your own Lakers channel, Gerald. Start your own Lakers channel. So yes, Thamus, great to have you here. Thank you so much. You guys have been so great in the chat today. Maybe that's why Joe isn't here. Correlation. Joe isn't here. Chat is really cool and laid back today. Anyways, I'm just kidding. But the real question, Ihama, because it's an early day. Ihama, I know he was not trying to avoid you. Because I told him I would have his back, but these early games suck for us guys in the West Coast. I had to move heaven and earth to get here on time, and I had to do his 3-minute report. So if you go to Lakers Corner, it's me doing the report, and then after this show, I'm going to be doing the Lakers latest, recording that as well. So I got triple duty for the Lakers today. But yeah, him and Joe, these early games, guys, they're really hard on us. When you're doing this, when we do it, and we don't have the ability to do this full time because it's just not financially viable for any of us to do so. So it is really hard to jumble our schedules around sometimes to do so. We apologize for that, but we're not going to BS you. We're not going to throw a line of BS and say stuff like this, that. It's just, the fact is, we try to accommodate you guys best we can. And tonight, no John Costa, and looks like no Joe Soro as well. So I apologize for that. But again, I can't rant. I can't rant too much because this team just quit. The team just quit, and it's just so hard to stay mad all the time and rant and rant and rant. They were on a good streak. They had to, at some point in time on this road trip, have a stinker, and it was today. Well, actually, it was also at the Clippers, but again, they're so far, they have a positive record on the road trip. They're still 10 games above 500. They still have some assets they can move at the trade deadline. But again, it's not as we mentioned earlier by Rogelio, they don't have many assets. Again, let me go over for you. I talked about this on Lakers Latest in specifics because there's an ESPN article out there that Bobby Marks put out there. It gives you a breakdown of exactly the assets that each team in the NBA has leading into the trade deadline. And for the Lakers, they have the first thing is that they have one first round draft pick. It's 2031 or 2032 that they have as far as a first round draft pick is concerned. You can have that one, 31 or 32. Can't have both. Just that one you can trade. They also have a second round draft pick as well later on. I think it's a 2030. It is later on. It's not a second round draft pick coming anytime soon that they can trade to let you know on that one. That's it. That's all they have there. Now, if you are into pick swaps, if you like picks, come on down. The Lakers are pick swap city because they have 5 pick swaps. They have ability to trade up to 5 pick swaps, which again, its beauty is in the eye of the beholder on that one as well. The golden rule I always tell people as far as when it comes to trades are concerned, trading draft picks, if you're a bad team now, you don't want to give up a draft pick in not too distant future because it's most likely going to be a high draft pick. If you're a good team now, the most attractive draft picks and the draft picks you may want to hold on to unless it's for something really good is later on down the road because that's when you may not be good. Like, for instance, 2031, 2032 is attractive because the Lakers may not have Luka by that time. So who knows what the team will look like and be constructed at 2031, 2032. So there you go. Silver, hey, what's going on? Silver, how you doing? Hey, Gerald, I've been watching you religiously since the end of last season. Keep it up. Thank you, Silver. Very kind of you to say. I truly appreciate all the kind words. You know what? You guys have made my day today. We have our usual trolls and stuff like that, but even defense wins championships. He was cool after the first pose. You guys have been just a tremendous lift on what could have been a very bad and pissy day for us because the Lakers lost by 30. You know what? I'm going to try to look at the positive side. The Lakers have a positive record heading into Washington, which should be a win. I'm not going to guarantee a win, but I'm going to say should be a win. And again, they have a chance to really make a positive image for the rest of this road trip, especially if they can get a win also as well at MSG. But we'll see what happens. But it's comments like these I've seen throughout the day that really have lifted me up for time. And you know what? I'm really thanking you guys out there for really doing a great job of lifting me up here in the comments. So absolutely. Isaac says, is AR supposed to be back on Friday? Well, as you know, this was a drama thing that went out over the past couple days. Yesterday, Shams put out a tweet. There was actually a tweet out that at one time that said, because I got it on my notifications, and it said that AR was supposed to be coming back for tonight's game against Cleveland. And he immediately deleted it. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what intel he got that was wrong. Maybe didn't hear right, what have you. But it was still a notification. And when I punched on it to get a clarification from the exact text, that was already deleted. So a couple of minutes later, Jovan Buha put out the normal injury report and he was listed as out. It has been talked about that there's a possibility he would be available for the Friday game against Washington. So again, you can take that for what it's worth. There was all signs thinking that he might be ready for Wednesday. Now it looks like Friday. I'm not going to guarantee it, Isaac, but I'm going to say the signs are leaning into possibly Friday being the day that AR comes back. So we will have to wait and see. LeBron said, my mom got to watch her son and her grandson play in the NBA at the same time, talking about because LeBron James' mom was in attendance all tonight. Got to see the team that they're on stink, but yes, LeBron and Bronny were out there tonight. So again, take that for what it's worth. I think it was just a very emotional night for LeBron, and I really think that it affected him. But that doesn't give him a full pass for what was done, because 11.6 turnovers was absolutely terrible. It's not excusable, and I'm not going to make excuses for it. But also the rest of the team. When one player is having a real bad game, the rest of the team needs to step up and take his place and say, you know what, we got you. We got you. And they did do that. They all folded. Luka, Laravia, Ayton, Smart. Smart only had 2 points. Gabe Vincent, all these guys in that second half, they just rolled over and died. And you know what? They all are to blame for tonight. Again, I'm not going to point it on just one thing LeBron or one thing Luka or whatnot. But yeah, I'm hoping Luka's foot is okay as we head over to Washington. But they do need to give him a night off. Hopefully LeBron will come back strong and the Lakers will, and AR will come back to the lineup too. That hopefully will give them a boost as well. Craig says, I heard Sunday. Again, it's conflicting reports, Craig. I'm not going to guarantee it about anything until I see it. I know Shams got burned by it yesterday. If I do get a confirmation, guys, I will post it on the posts for this channel. Plus, I'll also put Lakers Fast Break on Twitter. So I'll also go ahead. If you got me on Twitter, I go ahead and I retweet everything as far as from the main news writers and insiders on what's going on with the Lakers. But I will also post it in the posts right here on the channel as well. Rodell, what's going on, man? Again, sorry you're here on a bad day for the Lakers. Just again, terrible second half. You know what, Rodell? You're a lucky man. Think of yourself as blessed. I'm going to call you a blessed man because you said you didn't see the second half. You are a blessed man because you wouldn't want to see that second half because it was absolutely atrocious. I didn't see the second half, Rodell says, but why does this team always get blown out when they lose? Cavs were getting this. They were being out hustled at starter. Again, this is the way this team is. They just either seem to bring it to clutch time, which again, they have the best clutch record in the NBA, or they just really just fold up their tents and they just get blown out. It just seems like it's either or. And tonight, based off tonight's 30-point loss, I want to go ahead and repeat it right here. They are still, for a team that's, get this, guys, 10 points, 10 games above 500. 10 games above 500. They still have a negative 0.6 differential. That tells you all you need to know. They either play close games and they win close games or they get blown out. And it just seems like it's one or the other. I will say, though, the 16-10 mark, which we talked about, is one of the best in the NBA. Oklahoma City has a 17-5 record. Denver has a 19-7 record. Then comes the Lakers with 16-10 in the Western Conference. And outside of the Detroit Pistons 15-6 record and the Toronto Raptors 16-9 record away, it's one of the best records in the NBA away from home. So again, they have played for the most part pretty good on the road. And hopefully they can finish out the road trip with at least 2 more victories to seal the deal on a positive road trip. And I think we will take that at this point. I think we will take 2 out of 3 to finish up the road trip indeed. Silver says, any chance of Adu Thiero returning around the same time as AR and develop into a solid asset before the end of the season? I don't. Silver, he did not get Summer League. He did not get training camp. He was only been out there for cups of coffee in the Lakers rotation. So just because you're a rookie that's overwhelmed like that, I'm going to probably say no. I'm going to say that, and I'm going to be pleasantly surprised if he is going to give us a contribution later this season when he comes back from the knee injury. But I've not heard anything about Adu Thiero's knee injury being recovered as of yet, any timeline or time frame as far as if he's going to come back soon. I'll go ahead and look it up now, but I'm not counting on him coming back real soon, but I hope I'm wrong on that case. So I'm going to go with that. Yep. He last thing was reported was just that he's on the injury report each and every time out. But the original injury was 4 to 6 weeks. Excuse me, at the very least. Yeah. Which puts it right around now because the original injury was around a month ago. So hopefully we can see him back here in the next week to 2 weeks. But Adu Thiero, again, no summer league, no because of knee issues, no training camp because of knee issues. And then he came in late and only got a sparing amount of time. And again, that's a lot to overcome. This may be just like a lost year for him, and he may have to get a lot of it back in the summer league this upcoming summer. That's probably what I'd have to say about Deutero now. Stefan says, great question, though, Isaac. With all the assets and cap space, I've been assuming that we are going to use it for a high value target like Giannis or wherever. We should all research the top free agents. Right now, the top free agent, Stefan, is Austin Reaves. There is really no one else. Peyton Watson, again, he's having a great season, well above what he's currently making. So he is going to get a lot out there. Tari Eason, but it's not a stellar free agent class. Of course, you could also say to an extent that if some of the others that come out of their last year of their contract, as far as they're concerned, Trae Young, he could technically become a free agent as well, but most people have him pegged for signing in or signing up for his final season, accepting the final year option on his contract. Like AR, he also has an option year on his contract, so we will wait and see. But Austin is more likely to lean out and bail out, while Trae Young is more likely to lean into his contract. So again, it's not a plethora of unrestricted free agents. There's some restricted free agents that we like. Again, I mentioned Peyton Watson, who is a restricted free agent, and then also as well Jalen Duren. That would be something special right there for you. I know Kessler has been talked about as a free agent as well. But he's coming off the shoulder surgery, so I know that's going to be a concern for any team that's interested in trying to acquire his services. Services, what are your thoughts on GSW package of Kuminga Butler for Giannis? Silver, I'm not a big fan of Kuminga. He has all the athleticism in the world, and I know he needs a better opportunity. But does he play winning basketball, or is he just a scorer? Just a scorer, that guy that's going to get 20 on a bad team, and then that's it. He doesn't shoot well, and he doesn't focus himself on defense, even though he's so athletic. He could be a premier defender in this league if he put his 2 cents into it. I've talked to Legend at length about it, and I've talked to other people about it that are Golden State insiders, and they've not been enamored with the focus of Kuminga on that side of ball, which is the reason why he's always on the outs with Steve Kerr, and he's not the most efficient shooter. But they would have to throw in 3 firsts at the very minimum, 3 first silver if he's going to Golden State. And remember also as well, I know that KCP was involved in Dion taking on a banned contract, probably took at least 1 or 2 of those first-round picks. But remember, Desmond Bane went to Orlando for 4 first-round draft picks. And I know that's going to be a key thing to focus in on. But if 3 is the magic number for Giannis, the Lakers won't have that opportunity to have 3 first-round picks until draft day this summer. And I'll leave it at that. Stefan says Kerr has a horrific record developing young players. I don't know if many have a worse record. Yeah, he hasn't. Moody, it's been all over the place. We know about as well Podziemski as well. That's been back and forth as far as he looks good in one moment and whatnot. And then the next minute he's riding the bench. Again, Kerr is all over the place on his rotation, unless it's Draymond Green and Steph Curry. He's just all over the place with these guys. So I cannot say I disagree with you on his development of young talent. But again, Kuminga in his extended minutes has flaws in his game that would get any team worried. So if I'm Milwaukee, I guess you could go ahead and take that as a package. As far as Butler, it'll be an expiring next year, and we don't know when he's going to come back as far as off of his knee injury. But make sure you have 3 first-round picks attached to Giannis if he's going out. Again, I think if you can get away with trading for Giannis and only have to give up two first-round draft picks, I think you've won the trade. Tough says, who's got the best shot? What's going on, Tough? Great to have you here. Sorry I couldn't make the Discord. traveling all over the place tonight, both here in the house and then also as well out there going mobile. Who has got the best shot at getting Giannis? That's a great question. My guess right now, well, who has the best shot is Oklahoma City. If they sat down in Oklahoma City boardroom and they said, we want Giannis, guess what? They get Giannis because they could throw everything in the book. They've got young players, they've got big contracts, and they've got draft choices just as much as anybody. I think Brooklyn is the only other team that has as many first rounders that they could trade as they do. So again, they would probably be my top pick, but I will say right now that if that's the case, it would probably have to be OKC that has the best chance if they wanted to. But if those teams that are actively seeking something like that, look out for San Antonio. Tough. Look out for San Antonio. They have a myriad of young players. They have draft choices they can try and trade. If they're willing to move Stephon Castle, and or De'Aaron Fox, or if they do a De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper deal and picks, that would get it done. That would get it done for me, as far as they're concerned. But that's just me talking right there. Intel says Clippers sending Harden to the Bucks. Possibility if they decide to keep Giannis and they want to do again what they did with Lillard, Harden could be a possibility. But again, the Clippers are playing pretty good basketball. They're playing probably better than anyone in the league right now. So I don't know if you want to mess up to that formula, but if that's all dependent on if you think Kawhi is going to be healthy. You make that trade if you think Kawhi is going to be healthy going forward, because they're now in the top 10 in the Western Conference. So again, you have to look at them, and they've been playing better than anyone else right now. Bag of Dragon, what's going on, Bag of Dragon on Twitch? Trade LeBron and Reaves for Castleman, but yeah, good luck on that. Yes, very good luck on that one. Yes. See how far that one goes. Damon says, Tough So says, best shot at Giannis, no idea. I would have to say it's some crappy team, but if Milwaukee treats him decently, then probably the Knicks, because he said he wants to play there before, but Fameless, what you're getting back is Cat. Unless you can find a package of players that meet the salary requirements of Giannis that Milwaukee likes. But the easy filler is Cat, because they have similar salary structures. So I would probably say that is the case, and I would go with New York as far as being a possibility, but they don't have enough draft picks that they can move in a trade. So again, the key number is 3. If somebody is willing to move 3 first-round draft picks for Giannis, my guess is that they move to the head of the class as far as it's concerned, and if they have movable assets as well on that. So Sylvester Silver says, Intel Wild, I think Bucks might be trying to salvage their future without an unhappy Giannis. There are no teams that could trade for $50 million contracts and not lose their useful assets. Yeah, that's the thing. Again, New York is not in love with Cat. Cat is not in love with New York. That New York would love to trade Cat right now, and Cat is $50 million. But I just don't think they have enough to go along with it that would make Milwaukee punch the needle on that, unless they can figure out some way to get multiple draft choices along with it. Cat, McBride, and 3 first-round draft picks. That might do it. If you could do Cat, McBride, and 3 first-round picks. I think we'll at least get Milwaukee interested. I'll leave it at that. Christian says the NBA is behind the trade that they don't like OKC. Well, again, Christian, OKC has more assets than anyone, so they are the one that are easily most available to make that trade. So we will see what happens there. But again, great to be talking with you guys. You guys have been great here on the chat so far. Cannot thank you enough for being a part of what we do. Stefan says it's time to go grab Giannis while it's even a real. We just don't have enough assets. I mean, we have a 1. And we could give you expiring contracts. The thing is, I don't know how the timing would work out. I don't think you could do it, because the fact that the Lakers have the 3 first-round draft picks on draft day. But if somehow they could facilitate those 3 first-round draft picks, pick the pick, and that Milwaukee would like, and then wait until July 1st when you could possibly sign and trade an Austin Reaves. You sign him to a big $50 million contract. You sign him to that 5 for 241, and then you could sign and trade him to Milwaukee and send 3 first-round picks along with it. If you can figure out the logistics on that, I don't know. That may be of interest to Milwaukee, but I think they could still get more from other places as well. Silver says it's like crypto. That's the value and current demand is. Well. It's just I was ready to leave. Here he is, indeed, my friend. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. I know these early games are a beast on all of our schedules, so I'm glad to have you here. Not going to be here for too much longer, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the game. The Lakers, again, very competitive in that first half. LeBron getting all emotional all over the place, obviously stinking up the joint. But I can't put this all on him. This was a team quit. The team quit in that second half. JJ just absolutely could not find anything to punch his finger on as far as the button to push. They just a reducible effort in that second half, and the Lakers entirely collapsed for a 30-point loss. I will put on the good side. The Lakers, again, still positive record on this road trip, and they've got a team in Washington that they're going to face that wants to tank. So hopefully that's an easy win on Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a show tonight anyways. So Gerald, you're welcome. I'll send you a link.
Okay.
The plan was to have a show tonight anyways, and I have some things.
I mentioned that. I wasn't sure, but I mentioned that.
Yeah. There's going to be a show. It's going to be the experiment, kind of the regular. We're going to talk about the Lakers, football, pretty much all the sports. So we'll be able to get some of the discussions out. But I was watching the first quarter, and it wasn't. They weren't getting the rebounds. It was very fluky offensive rebounding on Cleveland's part. It just didn't matter what was going on, if they were boxing out, if they were touching the ball. It didn't. I just feel, again, the fundamentals is just not there anymore in basketball, to the point where these guys can't grab a basketball.
They don't box out, Joe. They didn't box out at all.
And even when they did, I don't know. Does everybody except LeBron put oil on their hands before the games? I don't know what this team's problem is with controlling the ball. And as far as quitting, see, this is why it's so hard to gauge or assess or predict anything with anything right now in basketball. I was talking to some of the boys in our chat today about the information in terms of possibly Giannis being on the move. This time, I'm starting to see some more like guys like Shams, right? Who was pretty reliable. This guy wants out of Milwaukee at this point. I think it's pretty clear. The problem is
he didn't want to look like the bad guy,
right? And he shouldn't. He shouldn't. But whether they get a deal done in this deadline or not is it's not important. The most important part is what is exciting about the NBA right now. What is carrying it, really? You're seeing what's going on with the WNBA right now, and I know that's a weird segue into something irrelevant in my view, but you have a league that cannot stand on its own begging for more money. And then you realize that the league that's supporting it is also not really, I guess, in tune with the average general audience, because people are disgusted by the style of play. They're disgusted by the inability to show any kind of consistency in any way. For these teams to play like this, it's the NBA is the Anthony Rendon of sports right now. That's the easiest comparison I can use. And there was another player back in the day, Mike Hampton. I don't know if you remember him. He was a pitcher for the Mets, got a big contract from Colorado. He did almost exactly what Anthony Rendon did back in the early 2000s. This is the kind of stuff that turns people off. And what's going to keep all these sports businesses going, though, I don't know so much about the WNBA though, but what's going to keep these businesses going is gambling, and that's why there was a lot of hesitation on that, with at least from myself. But tonight's game it's sad because you have LeBron playing in Cleveland, possibly for the last time. There's a chance. I don't think he's going to retire, but there's a chance he may. He may just say, "Look, I can't. I'm not going to be able to." No. Let's say no team picks him up. Right? Is he going to play for the minimum? I don't know. That would be a weird thought to imagine, right? So the sad thing is, it's just these guys don't really care. And it's not just the Lakers, it's just in general, the NBA. I don't think anybody really cares. They're making so much money. They made more money, and as they were making more money, they scaled back in terms of their ethics in terms of playing the game. And it's sad that you have somebody like LeBron James, who's still the face of the NBA. He's not the best player in the NBA, but is the face still. Him and Curry, right? And you have the face of your league going on TV and telling everybody that 82 games is too much, is too many games, and you're making $52 million a year. That's sad commentary.
So you are doing an experiment later, correct?
Yes, I will.
Okay. I wanted to clear that with Damus. Damus was asking. So, yes, go ahead and check out the Joe Soro experiment. By the way, what were you doing as far as the test yesterday? Had some people asking. JSJ was asking earlier.
Yeah, we were playing the channel on with the Houston game. Well, no, I'm sorry, the Clippers game. Was it Houston and Clippers, right? I know it was the Clippers.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think it was.
The problem was the audio was loud and clear. Jeff hit me up. He goes, "Hey, man, you might want to not put that up there." And I went back and looked or listened, and I'm like, "Oh, shit, the audio's on there." And I quickly told our guys, Sean and Vari, that, "Hey, man, yeah, don't do that." I think I even told him, I think this might have happened. If it was your channel that did that, you might have been dinged. At least with me,
that's what happened with playback last season.
Yeah. So luckily for me, my show's still relatively new, not a lot of subscribers, so maybe they weren't looking. But that could have been a bad.
Yes,
that could have been a bad thing. That is massive copyright infringement, and I told the boys, I said, "Hey, we're going to need to do this in a way where, I have no idea what they're doing. Absolutely nothing. I just said, hey, can you guys mute it at least or do whatever it is that you could do?" So they're working on it. They're trying to figure it out, which again, I commend them, and I'm looking forward for it to be set up the right way.
Once again, the Lakers lose 129-99. It is Joe Soro from the Joe Soro Experiment. Hop on over to his channel here in a little bit, along with me, Joe Glass.
I'll be on at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Okay, that sounds good. Hopefully I'll get my Lakers latest done by then, and I can hop on with your show. Stefan says, I know that you guys do Discord. Have you ever done a play-by-play live stream type thing? Seems like those channels, even with kids that know zero ball, get massive subs.
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a play-by-play. I used to do a little play-by-play back in the day. If you wanted me to really play it out as a color guy, I can do that. I have not been asked, but if that's something that would bring an audience, then I'd be more than happy to oblige.
Take a look into it. Absolutely. So, Joe, the Lakers head to Washington. Hopefully they will get AR back. Again, Craig thinks Sunday against the Knicks. Some people have said as early as this coming next game against for AR return. They need to have a better effort. AR's return would have done nothing for them today because they absolutely just stunk up the joint in that second half, regardless. Your thoughts on an AR return as it gets closer and closer? Could be Friday, could be a Sunday. We'll see. As long as Shams is not posting that he's going to come back, then immediately deleting it, I think we're going to find out hopefully soon whether or not he's going to come back sooner rather than later.
Well, I'll try to add a rant here for our good friend Silverhawk. I don't remember reading his name before, so thank you for for being here, subscribing and liking everything. Thank you. My rant might be a little redundant for some of you. If you're indeed new here, Silverhawk, then you'll get a chance to see it maybe for the first time. But it sounds like you know who I am. You talked about the rant, so you've probably been here. I just haven't seen you comment. But it's the same. It's the same thing that I've said before. I mean, you talk about the fundamentals. So I'm going to use a comparison here. When you look at the LA Dodgers, for example, where did they really flourish during this particular championship run? When you look at the highlights, when you look at what they did, fundamentally, they won the championship because their hitting was atrocious. Injuries all year were horrible. So you can't come back at me with, injuries, schedule, all that, right? By the way, they play like twice as many games as you do, right? Mm-hmm. And in some cases, you could you can argue that baseball's much harder on the body than it would be on an NBA body, since they play twice your games. But I'm not going to get into that discussion. I don't really. That's not the point here. So what happened with the Dodgers? What made them win? Well, if you look at all of the big plays in this game, outside the home runs, because home runs is instinct, it's timing, it's bad pitch at the wrong time, mistake by the pitcher. I'm talking about the relay punch out at home when you have a tie game. You have Teo grabbing a double by the hitter, throwing it to Edman, and the relay throw and then the throw from Edman to the plate is, perfect, and to the point where Will Smith was having coffee and a Danish before Schneider gets caught out, right? And then you look at Kike, which, by the way, that play that Kike did where he caught it in Game 6 and threw it to second, he had done that play to first in Milwaukee. So that wasn't the first time he made that play where he ran, caught, and got a double play, right? Matter of fact, the first one was harder because he had to throw it to first. So that's just a few of those scenarios. There's plenty. It's the wheel play by Muncy. It's Muncy's catch on Jimenez faking a bunt and hitting it, and it's right there. Like, fundamentals will save you when you don't have it. Fundamentals will save you when you don't have enough talent. So when do you wake up to that as a professional? Is it because no one else is doing it? Has it become the All-Star games? Not in baseball. Baseball still competes. Baseball All-Star games still compete. NBA and NFL. Shedeur Sanders got into the Pro Bowl throwing 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. That's how bad they don't give a shit, because they're making their money. So everything in the end is about the money, right? It's about the money. They don't give a shit about the fans, and the fans are not demanding enough because they're still watching. We're all still watching this, and they know it. They know that there's a bunch of schmucks out there doing podcasts. They have to watch now. We have to watch if we're going to do a Lakers show. So they have us by the balls. And the only way to stop it from happening is, I would say, it would have to be millions of people that stop gambling on the sport as well. I just don't see that. It's not happening. It's not going to work. We're past it. People are accepting mediocrity more than ever, and more in the history of life than ever before, in my view. Because people who were mediocre or lower quality type situations, most of the human history is people are poor, and then you had the monarchy that had all the money and the power, and then everybody else was basically a peasant, right? Well, things have evened out. Again, I don't want to get into sociology stuff, but I read something the other day that made so much sense about how the middle class in America, like that defined human history. Like that defined the kind of like the transfer in terms of what humans used to live in versus what they are now. Like the middle class is why. And we don't have that in sports anymore. It's either all good or it's trash. And that's it. It's either feast or famine. So I don't know if that's enough of a rant. Every time I start to say to myself, man, maybe I need to start being a little bit more decisive in terms of my speech, not so much erratic, but you got to give the people what they want. And right now, the Lakers are the epitome of what the NBA is. They're a microcosm of their own league. And unfortunately, for a lot of the LeBron fans out there, and I'm back and forth with LeBron. I am amazed at his talent, especially at this late in his career. But LeBron James is not. He's never going to be just by what he does. He's just not going to be on the top, in my view, because of this. Because he is a reason why this league is the way it is. He plays a big part in it. Just
Absolutely.
give up. I mean, if he's going to give up in his quote unquote hometown the way he did, well, who's safe? Who's safe? This was pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic how they quit. I mean, that fourth quarter, you know how when the Lakers are up by 20, we're always worried in the fourth quarter? Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter who it is. Could be Charlotte, could be New Orleans, could be Minnesota, could be whatever. We're always worried. I've seen like 4 or 5 of these games where they're down 20, and I'm like, this game is over. Lakers have no balls to finish this or try to make it at least competitive. They've done it a few times, but more often than not, they just quit. And that's that just explains why they are who they are.
Bag of Dragons says, I mean, Charlotte did tie the record this year for most of the 3.5. Yeah, I mean, Charlotte, you don't know from one game to the next. One game they're blowing out the OKC Thunder, and the next minute they're just looking like a team that's going to tank. So, but they do have a pretty decent future going forward for them. But yes, like you said, Bag and Dragon on Twitch, yes. They did tie for the record this year for the most 3.5. But I know that Tough is asking your thoughts on the court. I mentioned earlier that I have a big issue with it because that court has been there as far as in Cleveland, elevated 10 feet above ground level. We saw early in the first quarter that Luka tweaked his foot on the edge of it as he was backing away from a three-pointer he just shot. There has been another incident of, I guess, another player that was mentioned. I forget who it was that did get hurt on that edge. We've seen, and I talked about this. There was mentioned by Laney that the Minnesota court is as something elevated too. I know that there's a college court. I forget if it's Louisville or another place, but there is a college court that, and we see the Final Four games. Final Four, when they're played in those big stadiums, they get elevated. Those courts are elevated from the bench areas. You know, in your description, do you think it's a hazard? I clearly think it is.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We almost saw something catastrophic tonight.
I mean, Minute Maid Park.
Oh, Drew Smith from the Heat. Okay, thank you.
Minute Maid Park in Houston is the center field goes up. It has an incline.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming they do that because they want to let the guy know, hey, you're about to hit the wall. I'd rather have a warning track and have it even, because everyone on this show right now has stepped in a way because of elevation. Like your body, sometimes it adjusts to it. Sometimes it's just automatic. You'll see something, maybe a side profile, whatever, or maybe you were walking up before and now you're walking back where you'll kind of misjudge, and then all of a sudden you kind of drop your foot, right? These guys are playing basketball, man. You can't have that kind of stuff. Otherwise but see, the reason why they think it's okay is because it's out of bounds. Well, what are you doing running out of bounds when you're playing basketball. That's, I guess, the justification. I don't know what the point of that it is there. What's the point? Is it just how the construction of the area is? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I know on a baseball field it's likely kind of a warning, but even then it's like you're going to step a certain way, you're going to lose your balance. At least I would think it would. But regardless of that, I don't know necessarily if everybody on the Lakers today, before or after Luka twisted his ankle, looked like they were in Cleveland today and didn't want to be in Cleveland. And I'm guilty of this. Most of the people in the world have been guilty of this. Laziness, right? It's doing things when you don't want to do it and you don't do it, right? The Lakers are they're basic mentally. There's no next level hunger. There's no, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to go spin. I'm going to go lift weights after that. I'm going to go walk for 10 miles or run for 5 miles. They don't have any real dogs that are about it. And Luka's a great player. Obviously, LeBron's a great player. But none of these guys have anything of like extra substance. They do what they do. They'll do their workouts. I don't know what LeBron spends on $1 million on his physique on. Is it nutrition? Is he factoring in his diet? Is he factoring in the trainer that he's probably paying, $100,000 a year? I don't know where the other. Okay, let's say you spend. I don't know. I'm kind of throwing this out there, but
cryo chamber and all that.
Okay, so all this cryo chamber and all this stuff is to keep yourself healthy and all that, right? But at the end of the day, okay, why are you quitting? Why are you quitting in Cleveland too? When that might be the last time you're there. I just, it's a weak and a weak existence, and it's not a surprise because when you look at how things have progressed in life and then around us, everything is made to be easy. The fact that we still have infomercials in 2026 is an embarrassment. Early 90s when they started coming out, you're sitting there, you have that dork with a sweater and glasses doing a song and dance. You're like, what is this? And then after a 5-10 year run, you would think, man, who the hell buys this stuff? It's trash. You remember that stain remover DD7, Gerald?
Oh,
do you remember
yes.
about that? Yeah. So my dad took a chance. I remember, God rest his soul. He goes, you know what? We do need something like this sometimes to clean. I'm going to order this. Let me see what this thing is about. The thing was trash. And we talked about that all the time and laughed.
Well, you know what the words are, as seen on TV.
Right.
Any of those products that you buy that you saw on the infomercials late at night or on the weekend, all those products are trash.
Now, what I did love about the infomercial style stuff, again, it really wasn't. It just was because it happened at the same time. But remember those CDs and tapes?
Yes.
For the musics, you heard it was always Kenny G, Whitney Houston in the 80s. Like, that's fine. Like, you're ordering music. There's quality there, right? But this stuff that I grew up listening to and going, okay, the gag is done. Like, we know it's all trash.
Oh, okay. To make you feel old, it's called that's what I call music. But remember, it was K-Tel before. It was the old K-Tel commercials that did that, as far as brought those great songs, recent hits, all together in an album. Then it became now that's what I call music. Joe, they're up into the 100s now, to give you an idea how old we are. They're like an edition, like I see 122 and I just brought up on a search. That is crazy. That's where we're at.
Well, and again, I know that some come out of the weeds there, guys. I think the George Foreman grill, was that considered I mean,
I think it started out as that, but then
George Foreman is someone we like. It's funny how George Foreman. There were women that I knew in college because George Foreman was very popular in the late '90s. I mean, everyone had in their dorm room, right? I never lived in the dorms, but I lived in a fraternity house, which is considered basically a dorm, without the bullshit. Everyone had a George Foreman grill, and almost every chick I knew in college didn't have a clue George Foreman was a boxer. They're like, "Oh yeah, I have a George Foreman." I'm like, "Oh, George is, he's a beast, when fighting." They're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "He was a fighter. He was a boxer." They're like, "He was? I didn't know that." Go make me a hamburger, will you? All right. So again, the point of the story here is we were supposed to get smarter. Mm-hmm. And these little things, these convenient things, were supposed to, okay, now I don't have to have a barbecue to make a hamburger, right? But what it did was, in the end, it entitled us so much. Oh, we have to have this quick. We have to have this without any kind of effort. And then you look at how things have progressed, and this is exactly what we've created. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 to 20 years. Idiocracy is probably going to be true. People are going to just sit and this is not a joke. I was listening to Dale Earnhardt Jr. today talking to his now wife about what he used to do every day. You know what he did every day, Gerald?
What's that?
Now, mind you, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is worth like $300 million. So this totally makes sense for him, right? But there's plenty of people out there that do this who don't have $3 in their account. So he would get up every day at like 2 in the afternoon, basically how I used to be in the summer when in 7th grade. We used to all sleep late, wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, jerk off the whole time, sleep late, repeat, rinse, right? So, not literally jerk off, I just meant jerking around. So, now,
glad you care.
Yeah, well, again, it came out the wrong way, pun intended. The thing is, so he's telling this. By the way, his wife is a smoke show too. I stopped because of her. I was like, "Who the hell is this?" And then Dale Earnhardt shows up, and I'm like, he married her?" Like I was kind of stunned, right? But he's Dale Earnhardt Jr. I guess it is what it is. Money, yeah, whatever. Anyways. Because his pops was my favorite race car driver. So he would wake up at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and basically he said he smoked cigarettes and drank Monster drinks from 2 to like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And then he just did it all. So all he did was play video games all day, smoking cigarettes, drinking energy drinks, repeat. And look what he did, guys. He did all that. He got a smoke show to boot. That's. I guess everybody wants to vicariously live through him by doing it that way, right? So we're in that mode. We're not here to set the world on fire anymore. We're not here to invent things. We're not here to persevere. We're here to make things as easy as possible. The only problem is now, when houses went up, food went up, all this stuff went up. Now it's like, wait a minute, even back then you had a chance, if you just got your act together for a little bit. Now, even if you do things right, you're not going to be able to get what you want. So now it's all jacked up. So, sports is no different than the real world. It all takes form. Everybody repeats. They're all a bunch of parrots. So, one little cause here, one little cause there. They start to repeat, blah, 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 blah. Now they have an identity. And that becomes now the story. It's not about how fans like us who spend 2.5 hours to 3 hours of their time watching your dumbass play basketball, and then you decide, I don't feel like playing today. But then again, why should they, right? Look what we're doing right now. It's our fault, all of us, every single person in this chat. Unless, for those who are in the chat are listening to us just because it's us, well, then we thank you for that. If you're here for the Lakers, we're all part of the problem. And this is what it is. This is the truth.
Once again, it is the Lakers losing 129-99. Their next game is on Friday against the Washington Wizards. It's another 4:00 game for
I
us.
hope that was a good rant.
It was a good rant. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
I like the relation to some of the things from the past. K-Tel. But K-Tel, get this
I
latest
really
hits,
didn't want to
greatest
rant. I didn't feel like I did. Again, the audience dictates what I do at all times. That's how it's supposed to be. And
the hibachi knives. I remember that. The super liquid that sticks itself adhesive to anything and just makes it like, oh yes, it's super reinforces this entire boat. You can now float because you use this special stuff. Yeah, all that stuff is great as seen on TV. So always cool to see that. But before we head on out, my friend, you've got something going on tonight for the Joe Sorrow experiment. What is that going to be before we head on out?
We're going to talk Lakers. We're going to talk football. Obviously, I'll talk a little Steelers with their new hire.
ShamWow. That's right. ShamWow as well.
He's still around, by the way. And and talk maybe I might throw a couple of baseball stuff in there too. But it's going to be the experiment. The theme will be the experiment. Just the experiment. There isn't going to be a specialty Dodger or Laker Dodger or Steeler show. So we'll get a chance to answer some questions. I know last night I did a little test run and like 9 people showed up. I felt so bad. I was just trying to run something real quick, and I was thinking about maybe doing a show right after that, but I didn't want to get in the way of what Sean was doing. But I will go into more detail tonight at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we can talk about the sports world a little bit. I think it's interesting that we're right now in a stage in sports. I'll use 3 entities right now specifically. College football has a national champion from Indiana. That's crazy. Football is going to have a Super Bowl championship quarterback named Drake May or Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is right now not only the pressure of winning a Super Bowl for Seattle and himself and his career, but this guy is holding up one of the greatest programs in football history, not just in college, just football history. He can be the first USC quarterback to win a national title. How many Heisman Trophy winners has USC have, Gerald?
7.
And a lot of these guys were quarterbacks, recent guys too.
Yeah.
Matt Leinart, Carson. Why did I draw a blank? Carson Palmer. Jeez, Carson Palmer. Like, how is this possible? 100-year football, just elite. Not one quarterback in that?
8. It's actually 8. They have this.
8 Heisman Trophy winners. A lot of quarterbacks had won this most recently, right? And not one USC quarterback to win a Super Bowl. So there is some interest in this game for me. My Steelers have 6 Super Bowls as well as New England does. So I'm going to be cheering for Seattle because I don't want New England to get number 7. Although I don't really give a shit if they do, because then at the same time, if they win, I think this is kind of a crazy number considering that there was a time where the NFC won 13 straight Super Bowls. And I'm talking about they didn't just win those Super Bowls. They annihilated the AFC for I think 11 out of the 13 straight seasons that they played. It was just a massacre. So think about this. After the Raiders won the Super Bowl in LA in 83, you had San Francisco destroying Miami. You had Chicago destroying the Patriots. You had the Giants destroying the Broncos. Washington destroying the Broncos. Then you had a close game with Cincinnati and the Niners in 88. And then 89 was a massacre, 55-10, still the highest scored Super Bowl of all time, 55 points to Denver's 10. Then you had a close one with Buffalo and the Giants. And then after that, it was Washington blowing out Buffalo, and then Dallas beating the shit out of Buffalo 2 times in a row there. So, I mean, again, it's crazy that for 13 years, the NFC owned the Super Bowl. And then now, if New England wins, they'll be, after 60 Super Bowls, 30-30.
So tonight, catch Joe on his channel, Joe Sorrell Experiment. I'll hit him up with some NBA and Lakers questions while I'm there because I want to hear his insight on that stuff I covered earlier here on this show. So we'll do that then. It is the Joe Sorrell Experiment. Go ahead and follow him there tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific. Again, we'll be back on the Lakers Fast Break for the post game for the Lakers and Wizards. Looking forward to that. It is the Joe Sorrell Experiment from Joe Sorrell right there for you, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Again, go ahead and check out the new channel I'm on with FanArc, and that is Lakers Latest, where I give you a 15 to 20-minute tidbit on most days covering the Los Angeles Lakers. So go ahead and check that out there when the video drops tomorrow, and then like and subscribe to all these great channels, including Lakers Corner, where I just did John Costa's 3-minute report for him. So hopefully I'm doing triple duty tonight, quadruple duty. I'm going to do quadruple duty tonight. So my job is going to be working hard tonight. So definitely working hard for you guys out there. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. We'll be back on Friday. Will the Lakers get back on track? Will AR be back on track with the Lakers? We'll find out. Could the Lakers be really in the mix for Giannis? Probably not, but we'll go ahead and discuss that more on the Experiment. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you stopping by. Looking forward to seeing you back here on Friday and later tonight on the Experiment. But don't forget, your friends always are right here with all the kind words in the chat tonight. Thank you again for doing so. We're your friends, as always, right here, win or lose, at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
Whenever anybody else does it, it sounds weird. Or does it sound weird? Anyways, but I can't hear it.
Something like that.